Hi guys, welcome back to PBTV, and we are very excited to announce a new tracer unit, or a new version of a tracer unit, hitting the website right now. So we are all very aware of the Hasta Nebula mist tracer that we had made and designed last year, and we have taken on all the feedback that we've had. Obviously there were a couple of returns for various different reasons, some over tightening and some slight modifications that we wanted to make to improve the functionality and the appearance of the Hasta Nebula mist tracer. So we have the original, and now we have the Gen 2. So inside the box, we have the Gen 2, and you can immediately see there is an obvious size difference. So comparing these side to side, they're approximately 10% smaller and 10% lighter. As an example, the original one was about 207 grams. The new one is 179. Those are both dry weights. So again, once you're going to fill it up with a little bit of oil, it's going to change. There are a few other changes that we have made as well. Is originally the bottom, and here the tracer unit was attached to the threaded part of the bottom. We've changed this because people were over tightening them and cracking the plastic inside. So now when you undo the bottom, the entire cap just comes off in your hands, and that could go to one side. There is a little O-ring that you can see just in there. That is to prevent the metal touching the plastic and pressing down on it. So the O-ring is there again for protection and making sure it is staying safe. Inside, you can see we have a nice, now very compact, very neat unit. Again, some very big changes in here. As you can see, it is much, much smaller to the original model, but because we have the cap now removable, obviously we can't wire anything into the cap. So the on and off switch is this little switch here. So pressing it, you can see it flash, tracer, fire mode, and then when it does the power down, the UV light just flashes in the inside. There is also a switch on the side here. Currently in the on mode, now in the off mode. This is the actual smoke feature itself. So if you're planning on running this dry and no fluid inside it, we highly recommend turning that off so that the coil isn't just burning and burning out, we should say, without any fluid in the tank. So if we leave that on, we have also changed the tank to be a permanently fitted tank. As you can see, there's 4 screws here and it is glued in place. The previous model, obviously, it had a removable tank, which was very convenient if you wanted multiple ones. But what that meant is if it wasn't perfectly seated and the bung wasn't pressing in place, there was a chance as you were walking and you had your suppressor down or your rifle up, there was a chance it could very slowly leak, or even if it was in your case and left with fluid in it, there was a chance it could leak. That fluid onto the circuit board was creating some slight issues with the LEDs at the front where only one colour was working. Still perfectly functional, there was just some features that wouldn't work. We've also changed the bung on the front to be a much longer sort of fitment and seal, so it is a much tighter fitment in there. The fan has changed, the battery size has changed, lots of other differences, but all you need to do is, with the included oil that's in there, you get 2 of these little bottles. A lot of people have also asked how or can we refill these bottles. We don't refill these because it is very, very and much cheaper for you to go on Amazon and buy 5 litres of smoke machine fluid. Do not use any form of vape liquid because they have sugars and other ingredients in them, which will cause a problem with the type of filament and things that are inside the tank. So you just want to use the smoke fluid that comes with the system. Simply injecting a little bit of fluid into there, make sure all of the wick and the filament are covered. All you then have to do is refit the bung. Make sure it is pressed all the way in. And again, the bung also helps to locate the system inside the housing. So once that's back together, sliding it forward, and it all goes back together. What we've also changed is the front here as well. So we have a different type of what they call a glass breaker muzzle. Please don't be breaking any glass with it. It is just the type of device and system that we have. This can be taken off, and there is a plastic shroud on the front to protect it from BBs. Obviously, there is a slight difference in having to take this apart to turn it on, but that was the caveat that we thought was worthwhile with removing the screws from the back and preventing any over tightening. Inside the box as well, you will find a USB charger and a second O-ring just in case you lose it when you're taking it apart, and 2 25 milliliter bottles of smoke fluid. Again, please do not use vape fluid. It will cause damage to the system and it will not function correctly. But we're very, very excited for you guys to get your hands on these. Let us know what you feel about them compared to the previous model. They were super, super popular. We see them on the field all the time. It is a very nice feeling to have, seeing something that we've made get out there. But if you're wanting to get your hands on the Hasta Nebula Gen 2, they are online right now, and you can get yours whilst stock lasts. But what you really want to see is what this thing is like on a range. So we are going to get a very high rate of fire SMG and put it on our indoor range and see if this thing can keep up, because 35 rounds a second is its max capacity. So let's see what that looks like when we're spitting smoke down the range. Join me in a minute. Hi guys, so we're here on the range. We have fit the Nebula Gen 2 to the SSR9 DSG. We wanted something that can really throw the BBs down range. And again, instantly putting this on, that slimmer, sleeker profile, it's going to be very aesthetically pleasing on much more sort of a variety of builds. So we have set this up with some tracer BBs in the gun, obviously, and we are on red flash mode and the smoke system is turned on. So with a few semi-auto shots, but we want to see what this thing is actually capable of. So yeah, 35 rounds a second, quite comfortably keeping up. Can't wait for you guys to get your hands on them.